The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get
He missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
After 10 events, there's been 9 different winners, with a driver yet to get to the checkered flag first, leading the championship points. This afternoon, Apex Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship comes to Road America for round 6 of 12 on the Season 7 schedule. And all the action from both the initial 40-minute feature and the 25-minute sprint that follows can be seen live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Hello from America's Dairyland and welcome to GSRC's Countdown to Green. Way up in the press box to bring you our bird's eye view is Soup and Crackers. Yours truly, Bill Soup Zahn, joined as always by Sean Crackers Ambrose. The Doctor of Pit's topology himself, Amjad Yaman, is manning the director's console, armed with cameras provided by the Ansel Adams of iRacing, Dougie Beard. As cyberspace flows into your place over the next 15 streamy award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the doubleheader Formula Renault 2.0 Championship event that will immediately follow. Now, Sean, the last time this series visited Road America was way back in Season 4, before your time with me up here in the GSRC booth. It was Jeroen the Earthquakel who took the feature win on the way to his first and only championship. Attesting to the length of this track, every car that stayed out of trouble finished on the lead lap. Christoph Holstein got the sprint win, but the Earthquake almost got the double, coming home in second in the sprint. So, since it's been a while, how about a refresher course about Road America?
Yes, Wisconsin. A place Les Paul, Steve Miller, and Liberace call home. Now, this facility located on 240 acres near Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. It opened back in 1955. The track was laid out strategically to many of the adjacent hillsides next to the track so they could provide natural viewing areas. Now, despite being over 60 years old, Road America still is running under its original configuration. This is a long track, 4 miles, 6.5 kilometers, 14 turns. Several series currently race here. NASCAR Xfinity Series, the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, the SECA Pirelli World Challenge, and Trans Am Series, the ASRA, AMA Superbike Series, and the IndyCar Series all run here. But the best way to get an idea of what this place is really like is to jump on board the GSRC Formula Renault 2.0 and take a lap around.
All right, we've got Amjad Yaman, the GSRC Formula Renault 2.0, so let's do a lap around Road America. Coming up the front stretch, turn 1 is a potential passing zone, but it's still a fairly fast corner, so it'll be more about the draft getting you alongside than it is about outbraking your opponent. Watch your corner exit 2 because a spin doesn't offer up much room to recover on either side. From there, we drop downhill a little bit before we brake for turn 3. This is a very important corner to get right, so back up your entry a little bit to offer yourself a better launch off the turn. It should become clear why you need to focus on the exit. This is one of the longest straights into one of the heaviest braking zones, but the moraine sweep offers some other challenges because of how it weaves back and forth. It can be hard to tell if someone is drifting to defend or just taking a natural line. Down into turn 5, expect a lot of overtakes here, but also expect a number of drivers to outbrake themselves and run wide. This big black curb is all fair game though, so use it up. Then, it's a short burst to 6 where the crest tends to cause the car to get light. If you miss the apex, don't worry, you're not the first and you won't be the last. Switch sides quick because you'll need the whole track to stay flat-footed through turn 7. That leads us into the hurry downs. The plunge into the braking for 8 tends to offer up an opportunity to launch a surprise attack. Just watch out for the lack of grip from being offline. Now, as we fly into the bridge, we hit the carousel. Avoid the temptation to apex early. If you can walk the tightrope beside the marbles, stay a little wide, then swing the car back in so that you can get to the power early. That takes us racing towards the infamous kink. Thankfully, in the high downforce Renault, it's flat out and not quite as difficult as it is in some cars. I still wouldn't advise trying it too wide. But now we're into the kettle bottoms where there's going to be a little jink to the left that makes the braking tricky. To keep the car more settled, straighten it out. Canada Corner is another place where plenty of passes happen or wind up going completely awry. Don't outbrake yourself to make it the former. Coming up to 13, there's a frustrating blind crest hiding the apex from your vision. You won't have much time to get the car back across the track and offer yourself the best line for the final turn. Absolutely make sure you get the exit of this one right, because the front stretch really is the longest straight on the course. To add to that, you have this steep uphill climb to punish anyone who hesitates on the gas. But hopefully you kept it all together and have finished a lap around Road America.
I'm Jed Yaman on the wheel, Joe Peak on the mic, taking us around the 4 miles that is Road America. Now let's take a quick look at who was the big points earner last time out at Sonoma. 42 points is not a huge total, but a 4th in the feature and a 2nd in the sprint earned the Flying Frenchman driver, Jean-Francois Godin, the top spot on the chart. Now, Adam Tierney of Formula Mini continues to be solid with a 3rd and a 7th. Godin's teammate, Enric Andre, won the feature race, and that's why he sits there in 3rd. Phil Reed's sprint win made the Aperture Racing driver the first multiple event winner of the season. So, how did all that affect the championship point standings? Let's keep in mind that these are the raw totals that do not take into account the dropped races. So as we look at it there, you can see that Tierney is still winless, but the Formula Mini driver can hang his hat on this accomplishment. He's the only driver to finish every possible lap so far this season. Tim Birdie did not start at Sonoma, so he falls down to 3rd, making room for Phil Reed to move up into 2nd. Now, again, keep in mind that drop races aren't taken into account, so once that happens, Birdie is going to fare a little better than he shows on the chart right now. Jean-Francois Godin continues to stalk the lead, and a pair of Tier 2 drivers, Ty McLeod and Evan Imre, share that 5th spot. Let's go ahead and look at the Tier 2 championship. And when we look at it in the standings, it's no surprise to see Ty McLeod of Incline Racing at the top. How about a pair of Force Fissy drivers there, Knut Martinson and Evan Imre, going 2nd and 3rd, less than a handful of points behind the leader. Scott Newton for Apex Racing UK moves up a spot. Patrick Kessler did not make the Sonoma race, so he falls into a tie for 4th. Let's go ahead now and look at the team championships, and the top 2 teams hold station, Aperture with Reed and Nolden, and Formula Mini with Tierney and Holstein. How about those guys, though? They had a great event. I'm talking about the Flying Frenchman, Jean-Francois Godin and Enric Andre. Those guys move up 3 spots into 3rd, forcing down Force Fissy. Now, keep in mind, the Force Fissy, that's manned by a pair of Tier 2 drivers, so great job there from Evan Imre and Knut Martinson. Osterkamp and Kessler, we expect them to be in 5th. That's for the prime team there for SimRC Racing. Then you see all the drivers on the other side, on the right side, trying to make their way around. Keep an eye on the 10th position down there. That's Manuel Hoyer and Luberik Moric there for Blackadder Racing as they squirm their way into another series here that we cover on GSRC. Those Blackadder guys are everywhere. All right, Sean, the AOR is always picking up new viewers, so for those joining for the first time, let's talk a little bit about the series and race details.
Welcome to Season 7, everyone, here in the AOR Formula Renault 2.0 Championship. This is round 6 of 12. Now, you are allowed 2 drops in this 12 race, 12 event season, 2 races per event. We'll run our feature and then our sprint race today, as we do every Friday. The setups on the cars are open. What does that mean? Well, that means the drivers have been able to adjust these cars to their liking, to their skill, and to the desired performance here at Road America. This is a tough track to set up for. You run with the ever constant battle of too much downforce, not enough downforce. Do you want to be really fast, or you want to be really stuck in these high-speed turns? So we'll see today how it works out for everybody. Now, the weather being predetermined, well, I can tell you that it is 28 degrees Celsius outside, partly cloudy, and it is 42 degrees centigrade on track. So, Sue, it's a little sticky, kind of hot out there today on the track surface. That could wreak a little havoc in some of the high-speed turns. Possibly the carousel may be a little hard to keep her stuck down through there, and even the kink, where you may tend to be a bit flat out, it might be a little loose getting through there the first couple times.
And as we talk right now, qualifying is going on. And you can see that Holstein sits on top. Now, the driver that I'm looking at to pick up a win, remember, we've had 9 different winners in 10 events so far this season. Keep an eye on Mark Usher. He's sitting there in 4th position. He's very, very fast if he can just get the car to the finish. Sean, I was doing a little multitasking while we were going on. Did we talk about the race-specific details here for the feature?
Well, we did not for the feature. No, it's going to be a 40-minute race, buddy, and they are going to grid based on how they qualify. Right now, Christoph Holstein on that provisional pole. We'll see how it works out. Still has a lap to get in here for everybody. Now, pit stop, we do expect there's going to be, well, we don't expect, we know there's going to be a pit stop. They don't have enough fuel to make it. Somewhere around the middle of that last third of the race, maybe we'll see them come in there, unless someone decides to go early and play that long game. So we'll see. Incident cap 16. You can't get any more incidents than 16. If you do, where do you go, Soup?
Out to the Twilight Zone with Rod Serling there.
That's right, you do.
And we've seen that happen more than once here this season.
We have, but I think Road America going to be a good place today where we won't see that happen. So we'll see. Now the points, they do pay all the way back to 20th place, and that is a big deal. You want to put yourself within the top 20th, top 20. Even more importantly, you want to finish this race on the lead lap, Soup.
And I was going back researching what happened in the past and talked about it briefly in the warm-up there, leading up to where we were coming in. If you can stay out of trouble, this laps are so long with laps about just over 2 minutes. I mean, unless you're incredibly slow, you should be able to finish on the lead lap here. So just keep the car out of trouble. Get yourself a good starting position for the sprint race that's coming up. Sean, pit stop's always important here. First of all, let's talk about pit lane. It's pretty straightforward, but kind of long, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it is. Like you said, it's pretty straightforward. No surprises with getting into it. It's long, and you can speed all the way into those cones. Make sure you're on your limiter. Get yourself to the box. But again, the pit delta going to be a little bit lengthy here today. It's going to be very, very important to hit your marks getting in and getting out of the pit lane.
Look at that as we look at the qualifying. Our points leader again, Adam Tierney. He's so fast. Yet to pick up a win, though. He's had 10 shots at it. Yet to get one in there. Keeping the car healthy, Sean, always an issue. Now, obviously, if you bang into somebody, your car's going to get hurt. But one of the things we all talk about is the curbing. I would imagine Road America pretty darn friendly, right?
Yeah, there aren't any real big surprises here with the curbing. In fact, the trip down to down the Moraine sweep down into turn 5, the left-hander at the bottom of the hill, you can actually use that, run off that curbing out to the right there as you come down the hill and get set up for the turn-in. So like I said, no real big surprises here with the curbing. It should not be an issue for these drivers today like we've seen at some of the other tracks.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I got to figure that with this being such a large track with some long straightaways and a lot of sweeping corners, draft should play a factor. You might be able to hang on to somebody here if they're a little faster than you, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. Now, the only problem is that you've got to keep it close. You get outside of that 0.6 of a second range, then you're probably not going to draft too well. These cut a hole, just not the biggest hole you've ever seen. So it's that's the thing I was about to talk about is I think you are going to see them stay pretty close here. It being a big track, I think the cream will rise to the top, and in the sprint race with a lot of cars, which we suspect will stay on the lead lap, it's going to be very interesting seeing all the guys up towards the front trying to make their way through, let's say, about 25, 26 cars.
As we continue to look at the qualifying standings, as we look at Jean-Francois Godin, what do I know? My big prediction, I thought he'd be good. Mark Usher now down there in 10th. Sean, for me, I always get a little nervous in the kink. I know you had trouble in the turn 5 was what you had worried about, right? Yeah,
it's a tough braking zone. You're flat out in the 7th gear at the top of the hill on the Moraine sweep there, and you're in the 7th all the way down the hill into that braking zone. Who's going to be the bravest and who can get the car to turn in there? There's a lot of runoff to the right. The pavement runs out and turns into sand, and it's really a mess down there. That is a big, big collection point down there in turn 5, and only the best make it clean and get themselves up under the Corvette bridge with any real success.
As we look at Alexis Merosloso putting in that last qualifying run, I think with such a large field, we want to get our GSRC's commentator bonus. Let's go to the grid right now. I think it's pretty much done. We'll take it 2 at a time, see if we can get through it. On the front row, it's Adam Tierney, flanked by Christoph Holstein.
All right, in row 2 is going to be Kerry Nolden and Manuel Hoyer.
Phil Reed and Jean-Francois Godin make up row 3.
Row 4, Renee Osterkamp and Josh Thompson.
And then Christian Tkach and Patrick Kessler, 9th and 10th.
All right, and then we're going to row 6. It's going to be Scott Newton and Mark Usher.
In the Baker's dozen spot, it's a hot rookie, Lubomir Morris and Harrison Fitch.
Row 8, Ty McLeod and Daniel Morris.
Jerome Decourtel in the 17th spot with Yuri Mojak in 18th.
All right, row 10, going to be Evan Imre and Hugo Quinier.
Hidden Blackjack is Stefan Herman and Stefan Larkamp in the double duck spot.
Row 6, Lawrence DeReich and Bruno Dometer.
Next is going to be Dylan Shepard and Yunus Vastamaki.
All right, row 14, Knut Martinson and Sarah Dove.
Miguel Antolin in 29th position. Outside of him, Casper Thon.
Oh, sorry, Soup. And row 11, we already did it. Row 16, we got Silvio Hurt and Alexander Waldo. Row 17, Tim Purdy, Lee Robinson, and Alexis Merloso will round out the 35-car field.
We're going to make our bonus. Nice job. Sean was trying to tease me there with the bonus. He kind of fell asleep at the end. Got my wife nervous. It's okay, honey. We made it.
Sorry about that.
She knows she gets taken out to Arby's every time we get through one of those. All right, Arby's is a fast food place here in America. Not the top quality fast food place.
Hey, that's real roast beef soup.
That's right.
Stop.
There you go. Well, welcome to the Apex Online Racing Formula 2.0 Championship. This is the halfway mark here today. 6 rounds in the book when we finish this one up of a 12-race schedule. Your points leader, Adam Tierney, sitting on the pole. He does not have a win so far this season, but we did mention he's the only driver who's completed every possible lap. You can hear the engine start to harmonize here under this Wisconsin sun. Gather at the chicken steak, cover behind the cows because the horses are out of the barn. And sure enough, it is Adam Tierney leading them down into the first corner. And it's a long drive into this sweeping right-hander. Into second is Christoph Holstein, Kerry Nolden in third. Manuel Hoyer and Phil Reed round out your top 5.
3 wide at the back. Oh, man.
Yeah, the front is nicely behaved. Now they work through 3. 2 is not much of a corner. 3, though, so far so good. Everybody seems to get through. Oh, we have 1 car off in the grass, and now we lose 1 into the wall. Can he save it? It's Knut Martinson. He gets it turned right before he hits the wall. Woohoo! That one was pointed into disaster, but he got it straightened up. Now they go into 5, which is probably one of the best passing zones. Oh my goodness, it is a log jam back there. Part of it is Evan Emre with Hugo Quinier in there as well. Lawrence sudden strike to right. The battle back for about 20th position. They get it sorted out, and now everybody gets single file. Well, more or less. Patrick Kessler being challenged by Mark Usher in 10th. Nice battle back there. Up front, things have settled down nicely. It is Adam Tierney running away with us, 0.6 of a second up on Christoph Holstein. Nolden, Hoyer, and Reed go 3, 4, and 5. Sean, they head down into Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, things are
Canada
now up front. That is on the inside. That is Kerry Nolden. On the outside is Hoyer. Oh my goodness, and then getting wide was Phil Reed. He's going to lose spots. He was able to keep it on the track, though. Loses a spot to Jean-Francois Godin. Some great racing. The leaders have made it through 14, as has the entire field. Did we get everybody around the last corner? I think we did. Wow.
We did, and now look at this battle at the front of the field already. Manuel Hoyer being attacked by Kerry Nolden.
Yeah, it is intense racing back here. In third position, this is where things are really heating up. They're side by side behind that. That's Godin in the blue and white car. Dropping back in behind, that was Phil Reed. Reed beginning to fall.
Phil Reed and Godin actually making a little bit of contact there, Joe. Joe Soup. Wow.
That's all right. I don't quite have the voice of Joe Peak right now. My goodness, I wish it was Joe Peak calling this as they race 2 by 2 heading into 5. A little bit of contact and getting bumped off is the flying Frenchman, Jean-Francois Godin. He's going to lose all those positions, plus 1 to Usher. Now here comes Kessler trying to take advantage of that. Not going to happen. I hear contact.
Wow.
Big spin back in behind.
Oh, that was Dylan Shepard.
Yeah, you got it, Sean.
Yeah, Dylan Shepard makes contact. Lawrence de Rijk was involved in that. Oh, wow, a lot of cars involved in that soup.
Jiri Mojic involved in that one as well, in car number 71.
Yeah, turn 5 bites again as they get down the Moraine sweep.
It looked like
breaking.
It all started with sudden strike to Reich making a dive bomb attempt. Oh man, I don't know if we can get. Boy, he got right into Morik. I don't know if we got sudden strike making that dive bomb, but all right.
Still plenty of live action going on here. Osterkamp, he's falling back. Usher just taking that position from him.
All right, Usher up to 7th now.
Boy,
Next on it is Josh Thompson. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, he's got all this traffic right behind him. Godin and Kessler, Newton, all right there, ready to strike. Look, and stepping out now. Godin taking him to the inside, down the front straight.
I think he's going to get it there as he makes that move. Going to finish the job. Look at that onboard camera there. You can see it. And yes, the blue and white car gets this position. Usher just picks up a spot on Thompson. Uh-oh. And we have the contact.
Not good. Kessler. That was Kessler and Newton.
Yeah, a sorry Patrick from Newton as Kessler was woeing up.
We'll go on board with Scott Newton here. The good news is both continue on, but you'll see here what happens with Scott on board his camera, and just not a lot of real estate left there, Soup, would you say?
Yep, and while that was going on, Ty McLeod got turned around. We don't need to find it, but it happened. I can report who did it. It was Harrison Fitch got into the back of McLeod, so McLeod falls back some positions. All of this, Sean, going on behind Adam Tierney, who's just having a nice, easy Friday night drive in his native country, way out in front.
Adam, it must be the new paint job suit.
Yes, he's changed paint jobs. He's racing the same livery as Josh Thompson, but they are not teammates. That's part of RadicalOnline.com. That's that racing team. They are the Thompson and Tierney are teammates outside of the AOR. So, and as the series becomes more popular, it begins to attract more of the top tier teams coming in from outside. We've seen Blackadder Racing come in here, and now another one sneaking in.
Soup, Antolin, Vostomaki really going at it back here for 17th place. Antolin pulling up alongside. Vostomaki got a little wide there in the last turn. Antolin got the advantage coming down the straight. He'll take the position for now, but they will contest turn one here for sure.
Boy, they get it finally settled down there. It looks like Antolin finally. Is he going to get that spot? Yes, I think. Boy, he's not giving up on it, though.
Oh, boy, that did not end well.
There you go, and he goes around. Boy, brings him right back out in front of some cars.
Boy, and Lee Robinson gets caught in that, too. Tough break for Lee. He had nowhere to go. He's the gray car trailing right there.
Yeah. He nosed in. Vastamaki got him, turned him around. We are back live again. Okay, let's catch our breath. And Sean, how about we
big stack up in 5.
Yeah.
Big stack up in 5. Lee Robinson having to avoid more trouble. Who was that spun?
Vastamaki got turned.
Yep.
That was a little justice because he just got into the back.
Yeah. He didn't get turned. So
no, he didn't.
He got on the brakes, and the car just turned around on him. That certainly happened to me.
Yeah, he was worried about getting into the back of Alexander Valda, so he put it a little heavy on the brakes. in the turning point, I've had this happen a million times, and then the car just bites.
And Sarah Dove would know where to go. She's going to get that damage there. Wow.
Godin has had a problem. My goodness, he was running up on the back of Josh Thompson, and Thompson goes off. Osterkamp also had to take avoiding action. He misses it.
And that was coming down the straight into Canada corner, Soup. See them all get through the kink there.
It was all about closing rate, though. And I wonder, I didn't think that Godin got into Thompson, but then Thompson wasn't able to make the corner, so maybe he got a little bit of a touch. Wow, Sean, for such a big track and for having such a great first lap where we got all the cars around after that, the attrition has been hot and heavy. Oh, my goodness. We got more as Lee Robinson is in a spin. Oh, Phil Reed has had a problem as well. That's happening more than we can cover.
Wow, Soup, just trouble breaking out everywhere.
We look at Reed, a top contender. He spins while he was racing in fifth.
Wow.
All right, let's see if we can cover a little bit of racing right now. We're going to look at P3. This is Manuel Hoyer being challenged by Kerry Nolden.
I almost feel a little lost, Soup.
I know. And Hoyer has got this spot. Nolden was racing in third, so Hoyer picks up a spot now, moving into third. These guys are about 2.5 seconds between the two guys who are racing away, Adam Tierney and Christoph Holstein.
Yeah, Holstein's starting to reel him in just a bit. Maybe we should do a quick rundown of the top 10 here, Soup.
We've been trying. Can we do it? If the boys will behave, I'll take the top 5, you take the next 5. Up in front, it is Adam Tierney. He has a 0.7 of a second lead over the man who's been chasing him the whole race, Christoph Holstein. Holstein was our second place qualifier. Tierney was our first place qualifier. They run in that order. Kerry Nolden has fallen back to fourth position now as Manuel Hoyer is in third. Nolden is trying to catch him. Those guys race third and fourth. Then rounding out your top 5, the guy on the move. He started 12th. He's up now 7 spots. That is Mark Usher. Sean, who's in 6th?
Christian Tkach is in 6th right now. The Scandinavian up 3 spots, and behind him, another driver moving through the field, Daniel Morris, the UKNI driver, now in 7th. He started 16th, Soup. Renee Osterkamp been in all kinds of trouble in the early stages of this race, still holding on to 8th place. Just behind him, though, Lubomir Morris, who's had his share of trouble, now trying to make a move on Osterkamp as they head into turn 1. He'll try to do it from the outside, maybe try to cross him over here as they head down the hill into this right-hander. Then we'll go back to 10th, and that is Bruno Dometer holding things down back there. And Bruno right now hanging on because Hugo Quinier is there in 11th. And Soup, he's pretty fast right now.
But how about Dometer? 24th to 10th, 14 spots. I don't know how many of that was done on the track and how many he just waved at people who were in the grass, but Dometer, a nice run.
Well, Soup, sometimes I'd rather be lucky than good.
Yeah. Now we look at the Rolling Thunder. Evan Emre makes a pass. He's racing back there in about 11th position. He is in that battle. He is in that battle with in 11th, fighting with Quinier. We're looking there at Evan Emre. Drivers who are out: Vastamaki, Bojack, Portel, and I think maybe Osterkamp as well. Is that the car that I just saw? Let me check on Renee Osterkamp here. That's a big name. Oh, there's Renee. He's back out, running in 8th position.
Now, here's the good news, Soup. Those cars that had trouble, they're back out on track. Martinson and Lee Robinson, Patrick Kessler, they're still on the lead lap.
Look at Osterkamp there in that battle with Morris. This is a battle for 8th. I had on my notes that Osterkamp ran into trouble. I did see him go off in the grass. Look at this. Here comes Morris back on the going to be on the insides. They work down the main straight. He'll have the preferred position into 1. I think he should be able to get this done. It's all a matter of downforce now, Sean. It looks like maybe Osterkamp might have a little more straight line speed. He's able to hold on. They work around the outside. They continue to race side by side, but now the momentum out of one on the high side, and Morris is going to be have to fall back into 10th, make that 9th position. Osterkamp in 8th. Go ahead, Sean.
Soup, Harrison Finch just came in, and so did Sarah Dove. Now, I know Dove's got a little bit of damage, and so does Harrison Finch, but this could be the first of what we might call scheduled pit stops, so we'll keep an eye on that. But Finch, the first one to come down, he's currently in 23rd, the number 41 rookie driver.
Well, Finch and Dove come together. It's nesting time.
Yes, it is. Scott Newton, Stephen Larkamp having a really, really good battle right now as they find themselves heading down into the treacherous turn 5. And Larkamp going to be patient and wait it out a little bit. Newton breaks a little bit deeper, and he's got a position in front of him there in Alexander Waldo.
Honestly, now most of the racing a little farther back in the pack. Tierney and Holstein race together, but they're not fighting that hard. Hoyer and Nolden also nose to tail, but again, they're not fighting that hard. We look here at the third. This is Hoyer ahead of Nolden. Hoyer got around Nolden a few laps ago, and they continue to race. We'll keep an eye and see if Nolden wants that spot back. You can see that he's close enough that he can do it. It might just be waiting for Hoyer to make a mistake.
Ooh,
he has a pretty good run now. Let's see. Here we go.
Here, kitty.
Yep. They head down the main straight. Keep an eye on how they run now. They are side by side. Look how they're pretty. It looks like they're pretty well matched straight line speed.
Yeah, it really does, Soup. Test of will.
Yeah. Nolden eked out over there, making sure that he had the widest entry he could into one, and he picks up that spot. Those are two equally matched cars there between Nolden in 3rd, Manuel Hoyer in 4th. Kerry Nolden gets really loose, and that might open the door. Here comes Hoyer back at it. Yep. And boy, he's going to be able to finish this even before they get to 5. That's unusual.
Yeah, he got away from him there, didn't he?
Let's give you an interval to these guys in 2nd place. Maybe we'll see if they can run them down. Holstein, 2.4 seconds up on Hoyer. Usher racing back in 5th. He's about 3 seconds behind Nolden. About 4 seconds to Tkach. Tkach has had a real quiet late race, hasn't he, Sean? Racing back there in 6th.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, he's picked up 3 spots and has really held on to that. It's kind of all his right now. Following a battle, though, between Imre and Grenier, it's a good one. Hugo stuck his nose in there a couple of times, taking a peek, trying to get around Imre, maybe setting him up here in the carousel, get a run here up the hill, in through the kink. He might be able to get him. Nice run off the carousel there for Hugo.
Now, what's interesting about these guys, they race in 11th and 12th. They qualified in 19th and 20th. So I get the hunch they've just been kind of working as a team through the field right now. They got Bruno Dometer ahead of them by about 1.6 seconds. I think Imre and Quinet are just going to play nice here and see if they can run down Bruno. There is another nice battle if we leave that one go up to 8th. Oh, I was going to say good, but here comes Rene Osterkamp peeling off. He was in a battle with Lubomir Morris, but that goes away. So with Osterkamp coming in,
Imre comes in too.
Imre comes in as well. Osterkamp, of course, racing for SimRC Racing.
Stefan
and Imre,
Herman
I always
in.
get this confused. Imre racing for Force Fissy. Go ahead, Sean.
I just said Stefan Herman comes in also, Sue. Again, I go back to Harrison Finch, who's really the one who really kind of kicked this all off. He's still back in 23rd.
And now those guys are rolling. Let's go to Kerry Nolden.
Oh, and Nolden has trouble, Soup. Off at right there on the exit of turn 5. He doesn't have trouble getting into turn 5. It's on the exit here, getting the power back down a little bit too quick.
Loses a spot to Usher. And we stay on this a minute here. You can see Usher, he gets out. And that's to catch right behind him. And then he loses it again.
He has more trouble getting up the hill under the Corvette bridge, and then he loses it again. This time it noses into that inside barrier, and he has to tow in.
That's a race ender.
I'm afraid so, Sue.
What do you think, Sean? Probably the car, you really don't know what kind of damage you have there, what you picked up. Probably didn't know what he had under him, maybe, huh?
Probably not, but that's boy, that got away from him and it just got worse.
Yep.
It cascaded for him.
So Mark Usher picks up another spot now. He moves up into 4th. In fact, everybody behind Kerry Nolan is going to pick up a spot. We saw right exiting pit lane that Evan Imre was able to get out in front of Rene Oosterkamp. They came in together. We had to cut away right when Nolan had that spin. But here comes Oosterkamp. This is a lead for the cars who have pitted. And Oosterkamp gets that spot back.
Yeah, and this battle is important. I mean, Imre wants to try and get away, do as much as he can here on track. He's got a lot of track in front of him. And he does not want Oosterkamp to fight with him here. But the fight is now Oosterkamp in front of him. And Evans got to follow here. That's now Oosterkamp going to be at the lead of all the cars who've pit, Soup.
And we can give you an interval to the leaders. That interval is about 53 seconds right now. The bogey time. I would think that those leaders should be able to get in and out comfortably without losing a spot. The top 16 drivers still yet to pit. And we look at our leader right now. Our contract with SimRacing Broadcasting, we have to show the leader every so often. It's kind of a rule of thumb. It's kind of just a general agreement that all the SimRacing broadcasting companies have. Yes.
It's obligatory.
We don't want to get in trouble with our competition, our friendly competition over at RaceSpot. We did our job.
Well, I'll tell you what, hats off to Holstein, because Holstein has not let him drive away from this.
Not at all.
It's only a second and a half, and I'll tell you what, that's not much here at Road America.
Well, you saw just what happened to a very veteran driver, Kerry Nolden. It can come out and bite you.
Yeah.
So Holstein back there keeping him honest. Hoyer in 3rd, Usher in 4th. Interesting points race here for teams. Can we quickly go into Christian DeCatch in 5th, racing all by himself. But remember, there's a team championship right behind him in 6th is his teammate, another Red Devil driver of Daniel Morris. They're going to have a good points day so far as Red Devil Racing, running 5th and 6th.
Bruno Dometer has come in for a pit stop soon.
Now this is interesting. He has a chance maybe of Oosterkamp getting him. Where is Rene right now? Just coming out of 14 right now, getting full song on the straight. But I see the Dometer is rolling.
He's rolling. Here comes Oosterkamp.
Oh, but it takes so long. Yeah, look at this.
Yeah. Told you this pit lane very, very long.
Now
Dometer
he gets
out
there.
Oh, Dometer moves up the track almost into Oosterkamp's line there.
All right.
A great pit stop by Bruno Dometer. He's able to stave off a loss in position there to Oosterkamp.
Well, let's follow up on this. We talked about picking up damage. Oosterkamp had one of those 8.1 pit stops. I saw him go off in the grass. He probably damaged the car. That's why he had to put in a few more seconds. And now Oosterkamp makes the move on Bruno. Dometer's going to drop back into 15th, 16th spot. Whoa, wait a minute. It's not done yet as they work through 5.
He will not comply, Soup.
No,
Bruno
he will
not comply.
Just to follow up on my thought there, 4.7 in the box for Dometer, 8.1 in the box for Oosterkamp. That's because we talked about you get the car off in the grass, you have to spend a little more time in the pit. Look at Oosterkamp trying to find a way around as they work through Hurry Downs now into the carousel. Coming up. This is fun. Boy, this is a tough one for me. You really have to be patient. I always put the gas down too soon and I end up having to check up. And now through one of the scariest corners on iRacing, the kink.
Yeah, honestly, Soup, not quite as scary in the Formula Renault 2.0, man. You're really whipping through there, almost flat out. A lot of grip there in this Formula Renault. And look at this battle into Canada. You don't battle down into Canada like that. Wow, Osterkamp picking up that spot.
All right, so he continues to be now the leader of all the cars who have pitted. Racing in 15th. The top 14 have not come in. Let's look at the battle for P8 position. This is Quinier. He is being challenged by Ty McLeod.
Well, we've barely talked about Soup. Ty McLeod up 6 spots. Chasing Hugo here. Might have caught him in a good spot.
Going to get the inside into 5. This looks good, Sean. I like this. Quinier not putting up that much of a battle. It's going to let him go a little up and under. No, not going to happen. So let's move Ty McLeod up 1 more spot. From 15th, he now sits in 8th. Quinier, no slouch, though. He started in 20th, racing in 9th. Both those drivers go in the right direction. 15 minutes of racing to go, and with lap times of about 2 minutes, we may see a pit party here pretty soon.
Yeah, the top 14 right now, all still waiting on that pit stop, Suit.
It may happen all at once. Let's see right now. Here comes our leader around. Is he going to go around one more time? He goes around one more.
Sure,
as does Holstein, Hoyer, and Usher. I guess, Sean, you're racing all by yourself. There's no reason to come in early. You risk being thrown back there into traffic. So as long as you got clear air in front of you, race it till it's dry. The problem is, though, you got to be careful. With 4 miles all the way around, you're not going to be able to coast home.
You're not, Soup. And if I remember from my testing yesterday, I think you've got about 13 to 14 laps on a tank.
Yeah. We were watching that battle between Ty McLeod and Quinier. Well, they both decided to take that battle right into
Josh
pit lane
Thompson.
too.
Yep. So in Josh Thompson, Stephen Larkamp. Here we go.
So all the guys racing back 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th have come in. Let's see which one gets out first, and let's see if they can get out in front of Osterkamp.
Osterkamp going to slide on by all of them, Soup.
Quinier is going to be out first of all that group. Osterkamp long gone. He comes out. Quinier gets out just in front of Dometer.
Wow. Ty McLeod had a long stop there, Sue.
Yeah, he did.
So did Josh Thompson, even longer, actually.
Thompson 10.4, McLeod 8.9. Let's go to Lee Robinson right now as it happens. The car gets loose. He was racing. Was he still on the lead lap? He was the last car on the lead lap. That will not happen anymore as he's nosed it into the wall. Lee Robinson, he's kind of a... Boy, he puts it in there. You never know what you're going to get with Lee Robinson. He's a box of chocolates. Sometimes he's really competitive. Sometimes he's not so tasty.
Definitely one of those days.
All right, the leader has come in.
He has. Adam Tierney going to
So has Holstein. Hoyer going to stay out.
I'm going to keep an eye on Osterkamp. I can tell you he is just now coming into the kink.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tall order. Tierney was so far up there. But boy, the pit lane is so long. Tierney, as we talked about him coming in, he's just getting into his box now. I guess the good news is he's got the travel behind him. It's he can straight out from here. And Tierney is out.
Okay, Osterkamp coming out of turn 14. Here he comes up the straight now.
He's got a chance maybe to get to catch. To catch is rolling. I think to catch is going to get out. Morris is also rolling. How about Lubomir Moric? Is he going to? That's Lubomir Moric is going to get out in front of Alexis Minerloso, who has yet to pit, and then Osterkamp. Now Minerloso still needs to come in, so Moric racing in 7th with his pit stop done. Minerloso, who we just talked about, still needs to come in, as does our race leader right now, Manuel Hoyer.
Yeah, Hoyer going to be pushing it. Like you said, Soup, you certainly don't want to run out of fuel here. You're not going to make it back around if you do.
That gas tank going to be as empty as a syrup bottle after a pancake social. Or I guess since we have a lot of European drivers, a waffle social or a crepe social. I don't know what they eat in Europe there.
Now the delta, the pit delta, about 35 seconds. Unfortunately for Manuel Hoyer, Adam Tierney only about 27.2 seconds behind. And Hoyer is in. I think it'll be just a matter of time before Tierney catches him here. Tierney coming out of Canada right now.
When I went to Europe, I was in London. They gave me pancake in a cup. Oh, it was good.
Ooh, that does sound good.
I know, that's good stuff. All right. Hoyer coming in. We want to keep an eye on Tierney. Tierney on the main straight. Hoyer just getting to his box. Tierney's going to leave him well behind. See you later. Now the question is, can Hoyer get out in front of Holstein? I don't think so.
Now
and here comes Usher. Yep,
Holstein gets by.
Yeah, pretty much the way they went in. And almost the interval they had before they came in as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boy, they race in the same order before pit stops. Let's go ahead, Sean. Run it down. I'll take the top 5. You get the next 5. Manuel Hoyer was not your leader. He was the leader for a while. Let me get to the right timing and scoring. How about Adam Tierney, your leader? 2.3 seconds ahead of Christoph Holstein. There we go. Now Holstein is racing ahead of Manuel Hoyer. But look at this. Not far behind Hoyer is Mark Usher. That gap about, it's under a second. Maybe about 10 car lengths. Then going back to your last car in the top 5. Christian to catch, Sean.
Okay, Soup. Now to catch up to 5th. Up to 6th is Daniel Morris now. Now Morris, a big mover today, up 10 spots. Rene Osterkamp is in 7th. Don't know if he's going to be able to catch Daniel Morris. It's a tough call here with just under 9 minutes left to go. Now, in 8th place, it's Lubomir Morris. Still having a good solid run here in 8th. Could battle Osterkamp here pretty soon. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. In 9th, it's going to be Hugo Quignet. And that position certainly not guaranteed to be his, as Bruno Dometer still back there in 10th, still charging hard, running comparable laps to Hugo right now. So we could see a battle for that 9th position before this race is over.
Sean, I'll run down the next 5, but do me a favor. Keep an eye on that Osterkamp-Morris battle while I'm doing this. Interrupt me, because it looked like Morris is eyeing maybe that spot. Let's look at 11th position. That's Evan Emre 11th is Ty McLeod. Now he's being challenged. Here comes Emre right behind him. Another battle going on here. And these guys race for 11th. We'll come back and check in on this one a little bit later. 13th position, Scott Newton. He's 57 seconds behind the leaders. He's got Josh Thompson. Remember, Thompson has had some trouble. Thompson trying to run him down in 14th. I imagine Thompson might be able to get him. Then rounding out your top 15, Stefan Herman. And I'll go back one more spot because he's got a chance at that 15th position, is Stefan Larkamp. So a pair of Stefans going at it. Sean, what you looking at?
Well, Soup, what I just saw was Lubomir Morris take advantage of Osterkamp coming out of turn 14. Osterkamp runs it wide down there in the bottom, gets out into the grass, and not the grass, but the dirt really at the exit of 14, and Morris able to get around.
I had a hunch that was coming. I could see that Morris was licking his chops there, so he gets up into 7th, Osterkamp back to 8th.
Still a good battle, though. I don't think Osterkamp's going to give up on this here.
Well, I don't think either driver has the speed to race away, so as long as they can stay close enough, the draft gives them a chance. We ride on board with the SimRC driver of Renault Osterkamp.
I mean, they're the only two left in the top 10 that really have a battle going, Sue.
Yeah, I would agree.
Maybe Hoyer and Usher.
Usher can't seem to close in. I've been watching it, though. The next best battles we ride, it's nice that it gives us a little chance to ride on board. I enjoyed this when we do this on GSRC, where we don't have to jump around so much. You get an idea of how it is chasing down a driver, especially here at Road America. It's so pretty. In fact, as they come out here, this might be, as they work their way now, they go through the kink. Boy, look at that, though. Morris beginning to pull away. Let's see if the draft can get Osterkamp back up. Let's stay with us all the way through 14. We still have 6 minutes of racing to go. Oh, now we got to go to Hoyer. Here we go, P3.
Hoyer.
Look at this. He got there. Sean, you said he was going to get there. I said, no, he's not. You were right. I was wrong. Mark Usher gets that position.
Well, and you know, it's Hoyer, another driver struggling coming out of turn 14.
Yeah,
just runs it out too wide there.
He wasn't going to get there. It was a mistake by Hoyer that gave him that position. Now we go back live. And you can see that Usher not done. He's out in front of Hoyer. Let's jump into a... go ahead.
We got a battle in the back of the field. Lawrence Strike, Knut Martinson battling, going down into Canada. It is for position. No, boy. We got the... Sorry, guys.
There we go. So we're looking at this battle. This is Valdo. Now, is this a battle for position? Let's see. I'm not sure if that other car is in there. We'll see. Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Waldo and Finch going at it.
Looking here, we've had a report. I know that I can report that in 25th position, Patrick Kessler just spun the car. Not going to matter. He was last on the lead lap. He's going to continue to be last on the lead lap. This battle we're looking at right here is fun, though. As they are now side by side. That's Baldo being chased. Trying to get to Finch. Finch running in 16th. Baldo in 17th. Let's take a look at Herman, Stefan Herman had an issue. Our directors found it. I haven't been able to see it.
Yeah, I haven't been able to either, but our director certainly caught it, and
we'll watch it with all you at home. Everything seems to be going well here, Sean. Pretty paint scheme.
Off track, and he's gone.
Oh, there it is. That's why we couldn't find it, because he wasn't there.
And he looked like he might have been busy exploring the boundaries of the tracksuit.
So we had our first Twilight Zone incident. Let's go back and look at
Morris.
Yeah. Oh, he's got him back. Osterkamp got him back through all that issue.
Osterkamp's been very, very resilient today, Sue.
Racing in 7th position right now. Oh, Scott Newton just had an off, this was a big one, and his day is over. The car got loose. He noses it in. He was racing in 13th at the time. Oh, Scott,
turn 1.
He only had 3 minutes of racing to go.
He just runs it out a little bit wide and to the left there, and he can't control it coming back on track. Josh Thompson, very, very lucky to get by that.
Is that who that was? Yeah, Thompson
it was.
did a good job of getting around him.
Another Radicals Online driver, Josh Thompson, in his new paint scheme this week.
All this going on behind Adam Tierney. Doesn't get credit for going to wire because Manuel Hoyer was able to stay out there a little bit long and get credit for leading one lap, but pretty much here it is. He's leading in the points. He does not have a victory so far this season. He's going to pick it up here, and my goodness, what a way to get one. A commanding race from Adam Tierney. On the pole, led into the first corner, led for all but one lap. Does he have the fastest lap today? Well, let's go ahead and see who that belongs to. Nope, that one's going to go to my pick, Mark Usher.
Well, Usher better be careful here over this last lap because really, Manuel Hoyer wants that position on the podium back.
Sure does. We're on the white flag lap. They worked their way through 3, and we're looking there at Usher. Our leaders are all on the same straight here, all on the Moraine straight. Going into corner number 5 right now is Tierney. Going into 5 right now is Holstein. And now going into 5 is Usher and Hoyer.
Soup, the battle for 10th is not safe either. Dometer under attack from Ty McLeod. They just got out of turn 3 and they're going to head down the hill into turn 5. We can go there.
Let's look at this one. Here we go. Dometer's going to make the move. He's going to be on the he's got Dometer on the preferred position on the inside. McLeod gets that done on the outside before they go to find. Can he close the door? No. But he'll have the momentum. Let's stay on it a bit. We're okay. As they come up into 6 again, McLeod's going to be on the outside shot, but look, he makes it stick. They're going to touch. They bang once. Now I think McLeod's going to be in okay position. He's got to work for 8. Oh, they touch again. They bang. McLeod's in the wall.
And it's over.
Dometer glances off the wall. I think Dometer's going to be able to limp that car home.
Emre going to get by, get himself into 10th.
Meanwhile, our leader has worked his way through Canada, through 13, through 13A, coming around the final right-hander. That is corner 14. Nothing but a straight line between him and the finish line. Round number 6 of the Apex Online Racing's Formula 2.0 Championship. The feature race goes to Adam Tierney, his first one of the season. Second place to Christoph Holstein. Mark Usher's going to get 3rd. Manuel Hoyer could not get that. He goes in 4th.
Christian Tkach going to be all by himself in 5th, Soup, followed by Daniel Morris.
Osterkamp able to hold off Morris, 7th and 8th. Let's go all the way back. How about Finch? Is he in a battle? Let's look at this one. Finch is chasing McLeod right now. This is a battle for 14th. These guys. And we're hearing that. Oh, this is McLeod that's trying. He's trying to limp that car around. He's going to have to give up this one position. Remember, McLeod was in that incident. Now it's a straight line speed. McLeod's going to lose the position to Finch. Can Valdo get there is the question. I don't think so. I think that car's going to be able to sputter across. McLeod gets credit for 15th position. Waldo gets 16th. We'll look at the McLeod replay.
Yeah, let's look at that real quick. Of course, it's, again, this battle side by side. They had done it for a while.
They bang. This went on for a while, didn't it, Sean?
It did. And it results on the exit there. They slap wheels and pods together, and it doesn't end well for either of them, unfortunately.
If we can go back live real quick and maybe give a little shout out to Patrick Kessler working his way through 14 right now. Patrick is going to finish in 24th position, but Sean, that's the bad news for Patrick. He finishes 24th. What's the good news?
The good news, Soup, is that he's going to be starting on the pole.
Woohoo!
In the sprint race coming up shortly.
Yes, with 24 cars on the lead lap, all those fast guys going to be farther back. Okay, the best part of any doubleheader event is the break in between. It is that perfect blend of a post-race high and the pre-race jitters. What we're going to do right now is take a short break, but we'll be back to run down the entire finishing order of the feature race that just finished up here on GSRC. We'll talk to maybe 1 or 2 of the drivers and then get all of our ducks in a row and bring you that 25-minute sprint race that's coming up soon. Back in a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship, Round 6 from Road America. Time to run down the finishing order of the feature race that just concluded. Your winner, and pretty much a virtual wire-to-wire, was Adam Tierney. Picks up his first win of the season, and he's going to strengthen his points lead in the championship. Christoph Holstein runs in second. Mark Usher and Manuel Hoyer go third and fourth. Hoyer running in that podium position most of the race till he made a mistake, let Usher get around him. Christian Tkach and Daniel Morris, a pair of Red Devil Racing drivers, go fifth and sixth. Rene Osterkamp was in a great battle with Lubomir Moritz. Osterkamp got the best of that one, coming home in seventh. Morris had to settle for eighth. Hugo Cugnier in ninth position, rounding out the top 10. It is Evan Retweet Emre.
Soup, how about Bruno Dometer going hard in the paint? Up 13 spots, finishes 11th. Josh Thompson with a 12th place finish. Stefan Larkamp will finish 13th. He came up 9 spots. Harrison Finch, 14th. Ty McLeod, 15th. He wheels it home to in a wheelbarrow, practically there to 15th. 16th, Alexander Waldo. Sarah Dove will finish 17th. She came up 11 spots. Alexander Waldo, he started 32nd, Soup. What a run for him. Knut Martinson, 20th or 18th today. And 19th, Lawrence DeReich. And 20th, the rookie Casper Thron in 20th.
Then in the blackjack position, Alexis Menaloso, one of the last cars to pit. He actually got all the way up to about third or fourth there until he had to come in for a pit stop. He falls down to 21st. Silvio Hurt and Scott Newton go 22nd and 23rd. 24th is Patrick Kessler. Now keep an eye on Newton and Kessler. Those are your two pretty fast qualifiers. Kessler qualified 10th, Newton qualified 11th. They'll be starting in the front row of the feature race. We get to the drivers that finished more than one lap down. Stefan Herman, Lee Robinson, we saw him have trouble. Tim Birdie, really not a factor today as he goes 10 laps down in 27th. 28th, 29th, and 30th go to Kerry Nolden, Phil Reed, look at these big names, and Jean-Francois Godard. Boy, some big names down there. Sean, why don't you round out the last 5 there?
Okay, and these will be our hard luck drivers here. Miguel Antolin, Yunus Vastamaki, Yuri Mojak, Jeroen de Cortel, and Dylan Shepard. 35th place there for him. Unfortunately, the race was short, only completed a lap.
Yeah, just to follow up as we wait for some drivers to come into our interview booth. Godard in 30th position, going to finish outside the point. Phil Reed in 29th, outside the points. Kerry Nolden. These guys are all in the championship hunt. And that's how you're going to win one. And that's what Adam Tierney is doing, is just putting in good finishes. But he gets the best possible finish today as he picks up the win in a really, really, really impressive run. I can't say enough how impressive that was from Tierney as he has a just dominant race right now. Sean, we talked about it before. 24 drivers on the lead lap. They'll invert all the way back. That's going to be rough for Tierney and Holstein and those guys to get up there. That's a lot of cars to get through.
It really is. And boy, I'll tell you what, with Scott Newton starting here on the front row in our sprint race, boy, this could be a good chance for Scott Newton to have a special day.
Yeah, Newton and Kessler, what they want to do is try to distance themselves as much as they can away from Hurt and Meriloso and Thrawn, all those guys who are racing behind them. The next fast driver you get to is maybe Ty McLeod, maybe Thompson, but he's going to start like 15 spots behind these guys. So there's a real opportunity here for Kessler and Newton to distance themselves, and then they can decide it later at the very end. They don't want to be slowing each other down. Just see if they can get some distance between them and the guys that they are chasing. All right, well, I guess we have nobody coming into the booth right now, and it's about 2 minutes till the next session launches. So what we'll do here on the Global Sim Racing Channel, give us plenty of time to get our ducks in a row so we can bring you the exciting 25-minute sprint that will be coming up in just a few minutes. So we'll take another break. Don't go far. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship, Round 6 from Road America. The feature race is in the book, and now it's time for the always exciting 25-minute sprint. Sean, tell us what's coming up.
Over the next 25 minutes, you will be mesmerized at this huge field today at Road America, and it will be a big fight indeed. We will be inverting the lead lap cars from the finish of our feature race that just finished. So if you finished on the lead lap, that's what you're in this race. But the winners, the leaders, the top 10 going to have a lot of trouble getting through a large field today in this that all finish on the lead lap. Now pit stops, so you're not going to need one. Okay, you will get a fast repair. That could pay some dividends and some points today, as this is a long circuit soup. Certainly pitting will work to your benefit. You'll still be able to pick up points. Incident cap, now it is down from 16 incidents down to 12 for this race. Going to have to be very, very careful. We did see an event in the Twilight Zone, so it's certainly possible. You'll have to guard that over the length of this sprint race. And the points, they only pay the 16th, and they're reduced to about 2/3 value of what you get in a feature race soup.
And we expect our pole setter to be Patrick Kessler. He finished 24th, last car on the lead lap. He's pretty darn fast in qualifying. He qualified 10th for the feature race, so look for him to get out front and try to distance himself from the hounds that will be chasing him. Fortunately, there's a lot of shrubs for those hounds to get through, Sean, before they get up to the guys up front. And of course, we're talking about Adam Tierney, who won the feature race. Other guys like Manuel Hoyer. This should be rough going, although the track opens up a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how passing goes, how quickly they can get through the guys. Certainly there'll be some opportunities. If they can't get them into one, they have the Moraine Straight that they can pick up some positions, and maybe down into Canada, and then of course on the main straight. We were able to get them all around the first lap. Okay, Sean, the first time. Not sure if we're going to be able to do that again.
Yeah, it could prove to be tough, Soup. I don't know. We'll see. It was really the start of that last race. Almost had the feeling of a sprint race, and the fact that we were really the heads were on a swivel and we were picking up one incident after another. Maybe they will have learned something from that and maybe get off to a better start here. I don't know. We'll see. The sprint races always seem to bring their own little bit of craziness to the race.
Saw a lot of attrition, but it wasn't the big one. It was just some side-by-side racing that took out one or two drivers at the time. Some of the big names that got caught up on it. Phil Reed, Kerry Nolden had some issues. He's going to be starting well in the back. No trouble for Adam Tierney, though, as boy, he was impressive as he got out early and just was unchallenged the whole race.
Yeah, really, and Soup, that was probably one of the more impressive runs we've seen this season. He obviously was dialed in here for Road America. And let's face it, as road courses go, this isn't the toughest one, but it's probably one of the more demanding ones because of the length, it being over 4 miles long, or coming in at 4 miles long. It's a bit grueling, and sometimes you maybe tend to lose focus on some of these long straightaways, and when you're battling close, obviously their trouble can come up and kind of bite you. So a lot of physically demanding driving here, and this sprint race will be a good test of who the best are in the AOR.
Sean, is this a low downforce track? And I wonder if maybe that's what makes the side-by-side racing a little more difficult, that maybe the cars aren't sticking as well.
Well, it's a low to medium downforce track. Let's put it that way, okay? I mean, you can go low downforce, but with some of these areas of this track where you can really go flat out, like through the kink, okay, you've got to have a little bit of downforce to be able to make it stick through there. Turn one, another good example. Turn one's a high-speed turn, and if you want to make it stick there, you probably need a little bit of downforce dialed in to really make that work. Turn three, the same thing. You're coming down a hill, that right-hander there. You can get through there pretty quickly in the Formula Renault 2.0, but you can't do it if you don't have any grip and a little bit of downforce. Like I said, I think you fall more in line with that medium, somewhere in between medium to high downforce there.
Drivers are out there putting in their practice runs right now. We're looking at the driver who's fastest in practice right now, Christoph Holstein. He certainly was competitive in the feature race.
And we've got to remember, it's 42 degrees centigrade on track, Soup. So,
what does that mean? That
means
means nothing to me. Is that hot or cold?
That's hot. That's 107 degrees Fahrenheit, and of course, I'm throwing that in for our friends across the pond there, so I look important. But but it is warm on track, so a little more downforce, considering the heat on track, is probably not a bad idea.
God, did I sound like an ugly American there? Give me that in American. Let me hear it in American. All right, here we go.
About France.
We'll take 10 at a time. Patrick Kessler, Scott Newton on the front row. Those guys are going to be fast. Look for them to pull away. Sylvia Hurt, Alexis Moriloso, Casper Thrawn, Lawrence Sudden Strike to right, Knut Martinson, Saradov, Alexander Valdo, and Ty McLeod. Make up your top 10, Sean.
All right, and then 11th, it's going to be Harrison Finch, Stephen Larkamp there in 12th, 13th, Josh Thompson, 14th, Bruno Dometer, Evan Imre, 15th, Hugo Quignet, 16th, 17th, Lubomir Morris, 18th, Renee Osterkamp, and 19th, Daniel Morris, 20th, Christian Tkach.
Hidden Blackjack, Manuel Hoyer, and then the Mark Usher is going to be the double duck spot. Christoph Holstein in 23rd, the winner of the feature race, Adam Tierney in 24th. Then the drivers that all had trouble. 25th, Stefan Herman, Lee Robinson, Tim Birdie, Kerry Nolden, Phil Reed, and Jean-Francois Godel. Look at them back together. That is going to be a tough combination back there. Miguel Antolin, Jiri Mojak, Jeroen De Quartel, and Andrew Grimbaugh. We have a new driver out there. The engines start to harmonize. Gather up your chickens. Take cover behind all your cows because the horses are out of the barn. And it is the Patrick Kessler leading them down into the first corner. Kessler being chased by Newton. We expect those two guys to be fast.
Big trouble, big trouble. Oh, everybody getting through turn one. There is a huge pileup.
We'll come back to it
in a moment.
Got 3 or 4. Oh, my goodness, Sean, you are right. It kept getting more cars after that. We'll have to take a long look at that one when the opportunity arises. Do me a favor, though. Maybe you can check back. How is Adam Tierney? Was Tierney involved in that one, or is he still racing?
Trying to pick that up now. Tierney still racing, Sue.
Good news for the feature race winner. Up in front, though, as expected, it is Kessler and Newton pulling away. Those guys race 1-2. A pass for third right now as looking on the inside. That is Silvio Hurt. They go side by side. On the outside is Alexis Beneroso. They work through 6. Now they come down to 7. Now they're coming down into 8. And Beneroso is going to lose positions. He drops back into 6 now. Hurt into 4th. Let me correct myself. Hurt into 3rd as my timing and scoring is 1 off. Here comes Sudden Strike to right, making a move on the outside. That's going to move him up into a podium spot. Our timing and scoring is a little off because a couple drivers have took toes. De Rijk racing in 3rd. Hurt in 4th. Mariloso fighting back there side by side. Mariloso, and no, it's Martinson. I apologize. It's Martinson coming in there. Martinson and Hurt go side by side. Dometer coming over the mic says he has had some trouble. That settles down. We'll follow all these cars around the first lap, and then maybe we can go back and look at that incident that took place, I guess, into corner 1. Oh, going off wide is Hurt. He's going to lose a ton of positions.
He really is. Soup, Adam Tierney already picking up 12 spots on this opening lap. He's going to come across here in 11th.
That's a great run. Okay, now, Sean, we'll go back and we'll look at the incident. We'll do our best to see how we can describe this one.
Well, it's... Soup, it's really take your pick. I mean, there were 2 different incidents that started the malaise, and so many cars... Adam Tierney, not a bad car to ride on board with. We can get it on board with that real quick. because he managed to drive through the center of all that suit. Got slight contact, but did not damage his car. There we go, on board with Tierney here. Everything's just going to, all heck's going to break loose up here in front of him.
Tierney got a little bit of contact, but he gets through. That truly was an octopus putting on his socks there. We have no idea what's going on. It's just a mess. Okay.
Well, hang on real quick. It resulted in a pit stop for Quinier, De Cortel, Mark Usher, Kerry Nolden, Harrison Finch, Christian Tkach, Bruno Dometer, Lee Robinson, Stephen Larkamp. All those drivers having to pit, not to mention all the other ones that are still in the pit.
Some of those drivers were ahead of Tierney on the grid. Some of them were behind. We look there at Kerry Nolden. All right, let's go ahead and set the stage for you right now. As expected, Kessler and Newton have pulled away. They are 4 seconds ahead of the driver in third right now. The question that I have for the fans at home and for Sean is, do you think these guys are going to fight it out? I think they probably have a far enough gap now that they can afford to get a little more competitive, as I'm talking about Kessler and Newton.
Yeah, they're definitely going to fight it out.
Yeah.
I talked about Newton starting on the front row and what that could work out to be for him today. Could turn into a great run. Going back to the field, finding some of these other battles. Daniel Morris trying to get by Casper Thrawn. They come across the start-finish line. This will be down into turn one. Those two side by side. Now, Morris starting to pull away just a little bit. His car is damaged. A little bit of damage on the wing, but he's able to make it stick through turn one.
Just ahead of these guys is Adam Tierney. You're looking at the drivers back there in 12th. He's in the same kind of beehive up here. In fact, Tierney right now, if we go up to him in 8th, trying to make a move on Alexis Meriloso. Meriloso started on 4th position. Again, we saw Tierney pick up a little bit of damage on the car, or at least make contact. He looks pretty good. Look at the guy from behind having a great run. That's Manuel Hoyer. Oh my goodness, he was going to be the peanut butter and an Amazava bar there, trying to squeeze in the middle. Thought better of it.
Hoyer wants around now.
Now Hoyer makes the move. There he goes. Gets inside of Meriloso. None of the big names really back behind him. Reed running in 12th. Godin in 13th. Those guys had horrible feature races. They're trying to get as many points as they can. Morris in there as well. He had a good feature race.
Oh, Phil Reed struggling there. Phil got Francois Godin right there on his inside. Phil Reed got a little bit wide on track.
Oh, and keep it off. He's going backwards. Don't roll it back in front of people. I guess we're okay. Whew. Right on board with Phil Reed, the Aperture Racing driver. Yeah. And while this is going on, I can tell you there's a battle for the lead. When we come back live, it's going down into one. We're going to come right back into it. This is Newton poking his nose in there. And he's going to, Newton's car does not have the straight line speed that Kessler's has. Newton had a great run down the straight. Got about a half car length in there, and then the car just died on him. Phil Reed coming into pit.
Yeah.
There is a fast repair, but if you have to take a pit, Sean, you finish out of the points.
Yeah,
much.
Your chances of any really good points are dashed. Boy,
the two leaders up by 4.8 seconds.
What a battle for 9th place. Merloso now. Waldo up alongside as they head down in famous turn 5. Godin throwing it in there. On board with him now. Under the Corvette bridge. He's not able to stick his nose in there. Gotta give just a bit. Chasing Waldo here for that 9th spot. Merloso giving it up.
We're looking at it going on. Meanwhile, we can report that Tierney has made his way around Osterkamp now and is up to 6th. I'll be darned if he doesn't have a chance to run these guys down at the pace he's going. Okay, let me give you an interval from our leader back to Tierney. It's only 9 seconds. He might be able to get there. Let's go up to our leaders right now as we have another chance. Let's follow this. This is Newton's best chance. It's out of 14. Let's see if he makes another run on Kessler. Here he comes. 2 car lengths back. 1 car length back. Half a car length back. He's going to duck it inside. Now he pulls up alongside. And sure enough, he gets the spot. So a new leader, Scott Newton. He'll hold it for now. I'm not sure if he has the pace to run away. We'll see how Kessler does. If Kessler can stay with him. They work through 3. Oh, looks like Newton's got some pretty good pace, Sean.
Yes, he does.
But look at the toe. Look at the toe. Bring Kessler back in. Newton stays defensive. Covering the inside. Making Kessler do it on the top. Not going to happen. Good racing up front.
Yeah, he's going to have to open it up his lead a little bit more than that to avoid having to fight that every lap.
And the guy who's saying, fight on, you two, is Adam Tierney, racing in 6th.
In 6th, Soup. He started 24th.
And Tierney interval still at 9.5 seconds. Mark it at home, kiddies, on your clipboard. 9.5 seconds is the interval with 15 minutes of racing to go. Boy, that's a big gap with not a lot of time to get there.
Okay, Newton was just able to get a nice run through the carousel. What did that do? It created that separation he needed from Kessler. Kessler now about a second back. He will not have the toe coming into Canada.
So that stretches out. We haven't reported that Lawrence de Rijk is racing in 3rd. Knut Martinsen in 4th. Ty McLeod in 5th. All those guys about equal distance from them apart. Just about a second and a half between them all. Let's go to Adam Tierney right now because he's really coming in on the back of McLeod. And he's bringing along Renault Osterkamp with him.
Yeah, and he is over a second faster than McLeod. It's just a matter of time here as he gets up the straightaway under the Caterpillar Bridge. He's starting to reel in Ty McLeod. And don't forget, Osterkamp bringing quite a train of cars behind him.
Yeah, let's look back to 10th real quick. This is Alexander Valdo. Back there, he's got Morris chasing him. This is a nice little battle. Mojak involved in this one. Morris back there in 13th position. Of course, Valdo started in 9th. He's racing about where he grid up. Morris, that's not the case.
Oh, trouble for Quignet. So he spins it by himself. Yep. Just ran it too wide out into the gray.
He was
able to recover.
He was racing in 25th outside of the points. Let's go back to 5th position as we come back to McLeod. Because I think that Adam Tierney is about to get him here. They're coming into the carousel. And then Sean, once he gets McLeod, then he can set his sights on Knut Martinsen.
Yeah.
Osterkamp back there in that SimRC car, though, hanging in there as they go through the kink. Osterkamp with a pretty good run from the kink. Let's see if Osterkamp presses it into Canada. Nope, not going to happen there. Manuel Hoyer racing back in 8th position. Going to be a good points day for him.
I can't get my eyes off of this battle right now. It's for 11th place. It could be for 10th place as well with Daniel Morris leading this pack, but Waldo trying to hang on here in 11th. He's being just hounded by Yuri Mojak and Lubomir Morris, both who are having their own good little battle. You see, though, Yuri Moshak right there in the toe of Waldo here. Is this the lap he makes a move? He's going to try. Looks to the inside here. Coming down into turn one. Something's got to give. Oh. Just behind them, Morris making that evasive move there. Oh, they almost bang wheels just up in front of him. Morris now almost making contact there with Waldo. Mochak able to pull off that pass. Soup, that rookie is up 21 spots at 11th.
Here comes Alexander Waldo back at him. He's going to be on the outside as they go around 5. Now we'll go back to this battle that we've been looking at. Here comes McLeod. We expected it to happen. Tierney coming up on McLeod. Well, this is going to be interesting. They're going to do it through hurry downs here. They go through 8. But now Tierney's going to be on the outside of the carousel. It's more fun out there. The horses go up and down a little bit higher, but not good for passing.
Yeah, Ty McLeod getting the better of it there through the carousel, actually. Able to pull away just a bit, but here comes the Truly train right behind him.
Yeah, McLeod is... Once the dam breaks, it's going to be bad news for McLeod, as they're all going to get him. Here comes one, Tierney. Here comes Osterkamp. Does he want part of that one as well? Not yet. McLeod drops back into 6th, but Osterkamp is hungry. Hoyer back there in 8th wants those as well. Now they head down the long straight. Oh, look how close Osterkamp is. This is going to be... He'll be able to finish this pass even before corner 1. No, the car goes out and dies. Look at that. It goes nowhere. You know, I wonder when I was watching that one, I was wondering maybe if McLeod might have got a little bit of a toe getting in behind Tierney, and Osterkamp wasn't able to make the pass. Good racing going on for 6th position right now. 5th position. Sean, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Not really much to look at. Let's go back and see what your guys are up to.
Yeah, well, it's this battle. Alexander Waldo is still trying to hang on to this 12th spot. He gave up 11th to Yuri Mochak, and Mochak is now checked out, but Waldo hanging on here. Lubomir Morris driving the wheels off of his Formula Renault 2.0. Evan Imre up into this battle. Imre having to make an evasive move back there. Sarah Dove also in this mix. I mean, just a bunch of cars right here.
Here's Moritz side by side with Waldo.
Morris almost loses it, Sue. Opens the door for Emre here.
This is a great battle now as they work through. They head up into the carousel. They should be single file through here. I would not be surprised. Emre racing in 14th. Wouldn't be surprised if Mariloso makes a move after the kick. No, look at Emre start to distance himself through the carousel. A nice run through there. Sarah Dove continues to race for points, having another good weekend. Let's go to 5th. Oh, in fact, Tierney he's ahead of it. Hoyer just got a little bit of a left tap from McLeod. They keep going straight. Osterkamp still cannot get around McLeod. Hoyer has managed to do it.
Here we go. Maybe this time. Here comes Osterkamp. Turn 1 will decide it.
And he's going to be able to... Yeah, they're still fighting for it. He gets it done. The real winner there was Hoyer, who was racing behind these guys. Hoyer was able to get around Osterkamp and McLeod, and is now right in behind Tierney. Remember, these guys were racing for the lead in the feature race. And let's stay on Tierney, because here comes Hoyer trying to find a way. Not going to happen as they go through 5. Really, Sean, we have 2 5-car battles. We have this battle here, Tierney, Hoyer, McLeod, and Osterkamp. Then the other one we've been watching with Mojak, Valdo, Moritz, Emre, and Mariloso.
Yeah, and Waldo's Mojak has really kind of separated himself from that. He's focused on Daniel Morris just up in front of him. But the leader, Soup, our leader in this race, Scott Newton, is really kind of starting to check out on things. He's just about put it to almost 3 seconds here on Kessler. And no end in sight, still running 2:04s. That's 2 minutes and 4 seconds around this track. And that is impressive here in the late stages of this run.
Well, look at Scott Newton right there, your leader, cooking with hot fish grease, well out in front of Patrick Kessler. Once he got around him, was able to leave him behind. He's got a 2-second lead on Kessler now. Kessler with about a 4-second lead, almost 5-second lead, back to Sudden Strike to Reich.
And I can just see Scott now climbing the top of this podium and then sitting down to a nice country breakfast there in beautiful Australia Saturday morning.
The eggs are bigger in Australia.
That's what I hear. Yeah. They have pterodactyls down there.
Yeah, they're big. Looking at Jean-Francois Godin in a battle. He's in that white, blue, and red car on the inside of Ty McLeod. McLeod now falls back to 9th. Godin looking to get some points. Remember, he finished outside of the points in the feature, trying to pick some up here.
Well, he gets that, wrangles that spot away from Ty McLeod. Now, Godin having quite a race. Soup, he has came from the 30th spot now into this points-paying position. I'd say he's had a little bit more luck in this one. Ty McLeod still fighting back, though, coming down into turn 5.
Let's go to 5th position real quick, Aiton. This is Tierney. Just had a bad run out of 5, and I thought that maybe Hoyer was going to be able to get him.
Knut Martinson's still within reach up there in front of him. Honestly, not just Knut, but Lawrence de Reich, all within striking distance here for Tierney. Got to avoid those mistakes.
Boy, the different lines through the carousel there. Through the kink now as we're looking at Sudden Strike to Reich in 3rd. Having a nice run. The real battle, let's go back. Let's look at this one. We're looking at it, Tierney and Hoyer. Hoyer makes a great run into Canada, but can't get it done. He's really close now. Look for him to make it. He can stay close enough. Look for him to try it out of 14. Boy, a pretty good exit, though, from Tierney out of that final corner. And the gap, by the time Hoyer starts to close in using the draft, Tierney is too far ahead. It's a long straightaway, but not long enough. Here he comes. Is he going to have time to dive it in there? Nope. But he has another lap to give it another shot.
And some things just stay the same back here. Evan Emre in control of 12th. Waldo still chasing him. The battle behind him is Moritz and Sarah Dove. Now Sarah Dove trying to get one more spot back here. She lost several here throughout the race, but now she's going to clear Lubomir Morris and come back into 14th place. Morris going to continue to fight on the outside, though.
Yeah, because Sarah had that inside line. She had to brake a little earlier than she normally would because she had such a shallow entry. Good racing. Here comes Morris back, though. Dove's going to have the preferred position as they go into 5. But again, she's in that tight line, and yeah, she brakes early.
And that's Merloso there in that battle. It's also Merloso fighting for a position here.
This time, Sarah tries to push out a little bit more so she can have a better entrance into 6, and it works for her. She gets that spot. Some great racing going on here between Dove and Morris and Mariloso, watching the whole thing.
I'd say some good work has been put in by several drivers here to position themselves in the top 10 Soup. A lot of our top 10s come from way back in the field. Speaking of 10, the battle is on. Looks like it does look like Yuri. I'm sorry. Mojak gets by.
Yeah.
Daniel Morris. He'd been setting him up for that.
Yeah, which is
off
surprising.
that battle.
Morris had such a great run in the feature race. Yeah, this is our rookie here. Yuri Mojak, really good driver.
He was very fortunate to get through that mess on the opening lap, but once he did, man, he started laying it down.
We're looking at Hoyer up here in 6th position. As he has made the pass, Hoyer has got around Tierney. With a minute 24, let's stay on this one because I think Tierney will probably, I'm going to guess, get him back. Here he comes.
Didn't wait long. Got out of turn 3 and put the hammer down.
Well, they're side by side.
Oh, boy.
5, it'll be tough to go too wide. Let's watch let's play chicken here. Who can break later? In that inside spot, boy, they go too wide. They still too wide. Now they got to go through 6. Tierney on the outside. Hoyer on the inside. Hoyer gets it. Watch the momentum. The drive off from Tierney. Not going to happen.
I think the white flag is out, Soup.
Well, Scott Newton would like that right now as he is racing comfortably out in front.
Yeah, my timing and scoring is telling me this is the final lap, and Newton is just flying through the kink here. He'll come through Canada corner, it looks like one last time. Nobody threatening from behind.
Nope, the top 3 spots are all for top 4 spots, all pretty much decided.
All right, well, is Hoyer going to be able to hang on? Tierney still trying to get back into 5th. He's getting a run at him down into Canada.
Stay on it. We got to go to the leader right now as he's just made his way through 14. Round number 6 of the Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship. The sprint race goes to Scott Newton. Patrick Kessler gets 2nd. Sudden strike to right, going to get 3rd. Knut Martinson in 4th. Let's see what Tierney's up to. Tierney's going to be able to...
I don't think he's going to be able to reel him in. Nope. Neither is Osterkamp. Osterkamp not going to be able to get any closer.
Let's go back to Sarah Dove then. Dove has just been overtaken by Mark Usher. Dove is back in 20. Something must have happened to her.
Yeah, Usher's going to get by. Now Sarah Dove trying to hang on and keep Carrie Nolan from picking up one more spot. Oh, Dove struggles out of 14.
Oh,
and that...
We're going to go back and remember she was racing in a points position. And then this is on the last lap. We weren't able to cover it, but our director has found it on the replay. This is Sarah. At the time, she was racing in here, I believe, with Mariloso. The car gets loose, and then she turns around, loses all those positions and all those points. Well, it looks like 27 drivers are going to finish on the lead lap, but our winner was Scott Newton. He started in 2nd. He brings it home in 1st. Patrick Kessler started on the pole. Going to have to settle for P2 points, but I think he'll be happy with that. What we'll do right now is take a short break here on the Global Sim Racing channel, but then we will come back to run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate here at Road America. Back in a few. From America's Dairy Country, welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship Round 6. Both the feature and the sprint race are in the books. Let's run down the finishing order of the sprint race that just concluded. Scott Newton and Patrick Kessler started on the front row. Kessler led for a while. Newton got around him, and after that, it was Katie bar the door as the Australian picks up the win. Kessler gets second. Lawrence Suddenstrike to right comes home in third. The Orange Viking, Kmart, Knut Martinson in fourth. Manuel Hoyer was able to get around Adam Tierney. He gets fifth. Tierney has to settle for sixth. Seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th go to Renee Osterkamp, Jean-Francois Godot, Ty McLeod, and Jiri Mojak. Sean?
Okay, then we're going to go down to 11th, and that's going to be Daniel Morris. Evan Imre, 12th place today. Alexander Waldo with a 13th place finish. Lubomir Morris, 14th. 15th, Alexis Merloso. 16th, Casper Thron. 17th, Silvio Hurt. 18th, Jeroen de Cortel. Mark Usher in 19th. And 20th today, Kerry Nolden.
Boy, it's going to be a bad points day for Aperture Racing as Kerry Nolden gets nothing and Phil Reed, I don't think, scored either. Christian DeCatch in 21st position for Red Devil Racing. Andrew Greenhall, there's a new driver coming in here, in 22nd. Harrison Finch in 23rd position. 24th and 25th goes to Stefan Larkamp and Stefan Herman. Boy, it seems like those Stefans like to race together. Sarah Dove was in the points for a while. She had an incident, going to finish one lap down. Phil Reed, 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th go to Hugo Quinier, Lee Robinson, and Bruno Dometer. Crackers?
Okay, and we'll finish it out with these last four. Christoph Holstein, 31st, Josh Thompson, Tim Birdie, Miguel Antolin. Round out the 34-car field suit.
Okay, I've got a hold of our feature race winner and the driver who finished 7th in the sprint race, but I think he's going to be happy picking up the first win of the season. Of course, we're talking about Adam Tierney. Adam, congratulations for a dominant feature race win.
Yeah, thank you very much. Put in a lot of work this week, especially joining Radicals. So I did a lot of extra laps practice and work we set up and paid off this week.
Sean and I were talking downforce on the car. You don't have to give away any secrets if you don't want to, but is this a medium downforce or kind of a light downforce for you?
It more depends on the weather, but in that race, even though it's quite hot, I was running low downforce, just because I pretty much can't overtake if you have medium, I found. So I just try to run low downforce and then try and work with the setup to keep the grip in the corners.
And then being out front the whole time, that had to help too.
Yeah.
Any worry during the pit stop of losing a position, or you're pretty confident there when you saw that who was it? Might have been Hoyer that stayed out another lap?
Yeah, me and Chris were talking. We weren't sure if Hoyer would actually make it around the whole lap because it was really close, whether we could do an extra lap or not. So we just came in, made it safe, and then just seeing if Hoyer could actually make it to the pit box or not.
Well, man, you took away one of my talking points for the Countdown to Green show, where I say Adam Tierney leading, although he hasn't won a win, doesn't have a win so far. So now, if you get that championship, at least it'll feel a little less. It'll feel more legitimate now that you have to have a win under your belt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, Adam, congratulations. Good luck. This is going to help in the points. We'll see how you do.
Thank you.
There you have it. He picks up some new teammates, and the presto insto abracadabra, the man picks up a win. I wonder if that had anything to do with it, Sean.
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, who's got to be pretty happy right now, and that's our winner from the sprint race, Scott Newton. We're going to be having champagne for breakfast this morning.
Unfortunately, no, because I've got practice in the HPD later. So, yeah. It would be nice at 5:20 in the morning, but it's not suitable.
Okay, not suitable today. Scott, tell us first about your adventure in the first race, but and then tell us about what a fight you had there with Kessler to take that first spot here in the second race.
Yeah, during practice, I think I was in and around the top 10, so I knew that the pace was okay at least, given the fact that I only did about 3 laps of the practice. Then in the feature race, I on lap 3, I was battling with Patrick and Couch, maybe a couple other guys as well that were ahead of me and Patrick. But just going into turn 2, Patrick was defending from both me and Christian, and just misjudged the braking point, I think, and there was a bit of netcode involved. So I want to apologise to Patrick on air for that contact. I understand that if there is a protest, I'll have to take that on board and carry it into next week at Zolder. But I just had to hold on really to the lead lap, and 2 laps from the end I just made a mistake on my own and crashed on the turn 1, so that added insult to injury, I think, in the feature. Then sprint race, I knew I just had to get past Patrick, but in a safe way, and luckily I was able to get up the inside at turn 1. It was lap 4 or 5 and be able to pull away from there.
That entry and exit turn 1, that's a bit sketchy, especially today with the high temperature on track, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be if you get it. If you clip the curb on the inside and get on the throttle after that, then you should be okay. But just trying to push the envelope, and it'll send you wide. Even with the high downforce configuration I was running, it was definitely evident that I could catch up right in the braking zones, and especially through that short little left-hander before the big bridge with the carousel. That's probably where I was making up the most time on everyone else in front of me. Probably not as much to Tierney and all those guys in front, but they were just too quick today, I think.
Well, buddy, congratulations again. We will see you next week. We'll let you enjoy this victory, and then you'll move on with the rest of your day. Have a good one, my friend.
Yeah, no, cheers, Sean.
And cheers to Scott Newton. Soup is caught up with Josh.
Josh, not the best points day for you. Josh Thompson, a mediocre race in the feature. Did you get caught up in the big one in the sprint?
Yeah, it wasn't really a good meeting all around, to be honest. Didn't have the pace. Couldn't show what I really could do, especially compared to the pace I had in like previous rounds. But sprint race was just got really unlucky at turn 1 with a collision. But I got around it, got a massive whack, which wrote all the front left side of the car off. So, and even if with the fast repair, you're not going to score any points, you'll be a lap down. So sprint race is a bit of a washout really, and the feature was going okay. I wasn't fast at all. Really struggled, which is a shame. Then obviously had the little bit of contact with go down into counter corner, I think. So which then sent me off, which is a shame. But it's just a bit of a disappointment week, to be honest, because obviously joining Radicals same time as Adam, and he did really well in the first race, and then especially well in the second race coming through. So shame that I couldn't also show what I could have done as well joining that team.
Yeah, I understand. Well, we wanted to get you in here real quick to talk to you, and congratulations on getting hooked up with Radical Sim Online Racing. What's the official name of that team? It's
Radicals Online.
Radical Online, yeah. Good job. They'll get you through there, man. Good luck. We'll watch you down the road.
All right, cheers.
All right, there's Josh Thompson. They're lining up outside, Sean. Who we got
Boy,
next?
they are. Yeah. Well, we've got our podium complete here. Manuel Hoyer in with us here. Manuel, what a race! It was kind of a tale of 2 races for you today. But what a finish here for you to come home with that 5th place finish. It's got to feel pretty good right now.
Very happy with the result. It was a great race, a sprint race with Adam. He was hard fighting, and he has so hard top speed that it was really difficult to overtake him. And in the last lap, I thought, now or never. And it worked, and hold it to get in front of him.
Well, Manuel, it's a 4th and a 5th place finish for you today. That's a great way to max out your points opportunities, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I don't dream that I didn't dream more that I couldn't expect more. I'm happy with the result. I was just surprised as I was standing on the 4th place starting grid. I didn't thought that I have the pace, and to fight with Kerry and Usher with get the podium, it was really nice. And yeah, P4 and P5 couldn't get better today.
Anybody you'd like to thank?
Pardon?
I said, is there anybody you'd like to thank today? Sponsor shout out?
I want to thank Adam Tierney for the great race. Kerry Nolan as well for pushing me very hard to maybe come closer to Christoph Holstein in the feature race. René Osterkamp as well, and it was a really great fight with all these guys today, and I'm so glad that I can drive in this league and show a little bit what I'm able to. But yeah, there are more better drivers than I. It was just the first race I think that I have no spin after Monza. And yeah, now I'm happy with the results today.
Well, congratulations on a really, really great performance today. We'll see you next week, my friend. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
There's Manuel Hoyer, who did put on a really great show today. Our last interview here, we wanted to bring him in real quick, and that is Lawrence Sudden Strike to Reich. Scored a few points in the feature race and then some big points here in the sprint race. Lawrence, congratulations. Podium.
Yeah, thank you. You know, it's a big relief because I never do any practice anymore in this car. So I basically jump in the car on Friday on the practice, and I really struggled in the feature race because I changed my setup and I had massive understeer in the long right-hander, so I lost 2-3 tenths there. But for the sprint race, I changed it back to the default setup, and yeah, it really paid off. I managed to take a podium, and my brother promised me he will buy me GT Sports, so yeah, I want the deluxe version, I guess.
Where you get that good finish, and it was that the sprint race was a nice quiet one for you there. Once Newton and Kessler got away, you just had a little peaceful run in third for most of the race.
Yeah, I had a little bit of pressure from Knut behind, but I managed to pull a gap to 2 seconds, and then I had a massive slide in the final turn, and he came back to 0.9 seconds again. But luckily, I knew I had the pace over him, and I managed to pull the gap again to 2 seconds. So yeah, it was a bit quiet race, but still pretty intense.
Well, it's good to see you finish up. Nice to see you score some good points there. So congratulations. Try to get a little practice in. We'll see you down the rest of the way.
Yeah, see you guys. Thank you very much.
Lawrence Sudden Strike to Right, third place finisher in the sprint race today. Sean, that's going to do it for us today. I thought Road America put on a pretty good show.
Boy, I certainly did. That one will be one to remember. That sprint race, that incident there in turn one, that's probably one of the bigger ones we've had this season. Knocked out a lot of cars, but it didn't hurt the racing throughout the field in the sprint race. We saw a good one today, Sue.
Yeah, how about the performance that these guys put on here for Apex Racing? Got to thank them, the drivers and the organizers, for having GSRC broadcast this series. We know you have a lot of choices when you fly. Thanks for flying GSRC. How about the companies and equipment and the software that you see on the screen right now that we use on the broadcast? Couldn't do it without them. Thanks to all of their the hard work that they do to give us the equipment that allows us to bring you this event. The original music that you heard on today's broadcast, well, you know who that is. It's Casey Lalonde and Eric Ekholm. See the screen for how to contact them. In fact, Casey Lalonde has a new album coming out, so you want to check that one out. Sean?
Sue, the AOR returns next week, Friday the 27th of October. We'll be at Circuit Solder, the Grand Prix circuit there. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you join us. For more information about GSRC, your best bet is globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel, and on Facebook, just type in Global Sim Racing Channel. You'll find us, I promise.
If you like chicanes, you want to make sure to come and check in with us next week. I'm clearly not a fan of that track, But I am a fan of the people that I do this with, and that, of course, is my buddy Sean Crackers Ambrose, the Doctor of Pits Topology, Amjad Yaman, and Dougie Beard, our camera artist. For all of them and myself, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, you know what to do. Race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.